Alright, how's it going everybody? It's Jacob, the coach of the Cleveland Krookodiles, and in week number 7 we are going to be battling against Amber, the coach of the Memphis Meowths. Now looking at her team, she did have a lot of ground type Pokemon, so I did not want to lead with Virgil. Instead I decided to lead with Atlas, expecting the Garchomp. So she does go for Stealth Rocks right off the bat, and I'm like, you know what, that's fine, it's cool, I can get rid of them. I'm just going to go for this Ice Punch here, and if you survive, then, you know, there's that, but if you don't, then you're the tanky Garchomp, and then I know that I can outspeed you with some other stuff later on. So she does end up outspeeding me. She reveals the Rough Skin and the Rocky Helmet, so this is very clearly that tank variant of the Garchomp. I did just go for Mach Punch here on the switch, just in case she decided to stay in and go for like an Earthquake or something, just to get some damage off before she died. So we do go for Mach Punch. It does pretty much nothing to Sylveon because it is resisted. So we do go ahead and just swap right out. Now, unless Sylveon is carrying like Hidden Power Fighting or something like that, it really doesn't have much to hit Empoleon with. So I do just switch into D-Drizzle here, and the Psyshock comes through, and it does a negligible amount of damage. After leftovers, that's probably like a 14-hit KO. I mean, that might be a little bit of an exaggeration, but you understand what I mean. At that point, she's like, oh god, I have nothing to hit him with. I'm going to go ahead and switch out. So she brings out Quagsire, and I believe I defog on the switch here. Yeah, I do, just to get rid of the rocks, because again, I do have Charizard, and we want to make sure that we can switch him in as effectively as possible. So there is that. Now I am expecting either an Earthquake or maybe a predicted Scald, so we are just going to go ahead and switch out here. Now back in week number 6, when you saw us battle against the Cincinnati Cyndaquils, the main goal was to get Atlas burned so that he could get that boost. We were trying to go for that in this game too, so we'll go ahead and see if we can get that. We're just kind of hoping that Dream Punch can give us enough sustain to survive through this Quagsire for a little bit to try to get burned. She goes for the Scald, and I believe right here she does get the burn, so like that's good for both of us. It's good for her because damage over time. It's good for me because I get that awesome attack boost. Now, I was curious on whether or not it was going to work against an unaware Quagsire, but it does appear that it does do more damage than it did the first time. It felt like more. Maybe it was just a higher roll or something, I'm not sure. But regardless, at this point, I can tell that one more Drain Punch is going to knock her out. But, you know, a lot of people in this league want to preserve their Pokemon as long as possible to keep their scores high. So I kind of thought she would switch out. I can't remember if I double swapped with her or if I just went for Drain Punch anyway. I might have just gone for damage because I knew she was going to switch out. I think that might have been what I did. Yeah, so I do just go for another Drain Punch anyway to see if it'll do more damage. It does do a significantly more amount. You know, like that was actually pretty good. If she didn't have Citrus Berry on this thing, which you can see right now, I actually probably would have stayed in and tried to go for a Mach Punch just to see if it would kill with that 60 damage. But again, since that did happen, I knew I got outsped, so I had to get out of there. So we pull out our Atlas, and we switch right back into D-Drizzle because we know that Psyshock can do absolutely nothing to Empoleon. It resists her normal stab moves as well. It's just a pretty good counter to it. So we go ahead and switch it in, and this time, since there are no rocks on my side of the field, I'm free to set up rocks on her side of the field without having to defog them both away. So she switches into her Scizor here, and I again go for the Stealth Rocks on the switch. At this point, I've kind of seen the Scizor a few weeks in a row now. It's kind of always been carrying Swords Dance and like Superpower and Bullet Punch, and I believe X-Scizor. So I was definitely fearing the Superpower on that one, so I do just switch right out into Dovahkiin here. I normally try to save him for a little bit later, but I just saw a good opportunity in that moment. So she does go for the Mega, as expected, and I believe she's going to go for a Superpower. That is why I switched in the first place, but instead it was a Swords Dance, and I was like, alright, well, you know, that's pretty scary in and of itself. But then again, we do kind of resist anything it can do right now. So it does end up, so she does end up switching it out, just, you know, scared of that swap. I actually decided to stay in because I thought I would survive anything that it would throw at me, and we're faster anyway, so it can only really use Bullet Punch. We do Mega Evolve, and I believe we go for a Flare Blitz here, just in case he decided to stay in, to just really mess him up there. So we go for the Flare Blitz, and Quagsire is one tanky mofo, decides to survive on 3 HP. So I was like, alright, that's fine, that's cool. So instead of going for more recoil damage, I figured I could just go for a Dragon Claw. So we go ahead and press that really quick, and as you can see, we take out the Quagsire. It was a critical hit, but obviously that crit did not matter. It was already down to like 10 HP in the first place. So she brings in Garchomp to try to scare me out, but I already have confirmed that it is the slower variant. So I'm pretty much max speed anyway. So I just go for the Dragon Claw, and it just takes it out again. So that's 2 quick kills. She does get the Rough Skin and Rocky Helmet damage, which is always scary. It leaves me at just low enough HP to be a little bit worried about something else, but not enough to like know that a dire switch is coming. So she brings in a Azumarill. I was really expecting her to do a belly drum set here, and I was expecting her to belly drum on the switch, so I do actually decide to stay in and go for a Flare Blitz. That was a really risky play. If she decided to just attack right off the bat, that would have been great to her favor. She would have got Charizard for free. But instead she does go, the Citrus Berry pops, and then she gets the belly drum. So the belly drum goes off, and it puts her down to a pretty low amount of health, probably more low than she was initially expecting. At that point, I'm like, all right, she's slower than me. She has to go for Aqua Jet, but there was nothing on my team that wanted to take it. So I did just switch out to Atlas and let him take this Aqua Jet for the knockout. In hindsight, that was actually probably the worst decision I could have gone with, because Atlas had the priority and nothing else on my team did. So we go into Purple Haze, and we go for the Sludge Bomb while she goes for Aqua Jet. Honestly, if she would have gone... also, that was a +6, huge power, Aqua Jet, and he only took that much damage from it, so awesome on the Wheezing right there. That crit did not matter. I went through and did the calcs later on, and that would have killed regardless. But if she would have gone for Knockout right there, she would have gotten Wheezing and probably would have gotten the rest of my team. So I'm really grateful that, you know, she was fearing my outspeed, but, you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. So she brings in her Sylveon here, and I just switch right back out to D-Drizzle, because again, there's really nothing much that it can do to me. I was kind of expecting her to just either swap or stay in. I know that those are the only 2 options that she can do, but I figured, you know, if she does swap out, it's probably going to be to a physical attacker, maybe the Scizor. So we'll just go for Scald on the swap and hope that we can get a burn on the switch in. So she does bring in the Scizor, as, you know, I was getting the inkling of. I didn't, like, fully predict that one, but I just kind of thought a swap was coming. So we go for a Scald on the switch. Unfortunately, we don't get the burn, but, you know, you can't get all the hacks in the world. It's, you know, it's called hacks for a reason. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. So we'll go ahead and we switch out, and I believe we just go right back into... Oh, no, we go into Cornelius this time. So her team not having the Azumarill anymore, it kind of became very clear that Landorus was going to play a big part in this game. So he comes in, and as you can see, he just doesn't really take that much damage from that thing at all. She does go for the switch. I believe I just went for Earthquake, honestly. At this point, Earthquake will pretty much one-shot anything that's on the field. Maybe not the Scizor, but still. We go for Earthquake, and that is going to be Lucario down. Pretty easy, just one-shot, knock it out. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? Landorus is scarfed. I might as well just ride the Earthquake train until the game is over. So again, we go for another Earthquake here. I believe she goes for Bullet Punch. So with that, you know, we do take some pretty decent damage, but nothing too scary. We go for an Earthquake. Maybe if she would have survived, it would have maybe knocked me out. Who knows? But regardless, Earthquake does take down the Scizor, so that's 2 in Cornelius' belt. And out comes Princess the Sylveon to take Cornelius' final Earthquake. So he does just throw down the Smackdown one more time, as you can see right here. And that is Sylveon going down for a Week 7 victory for the Cleveland Krookodiles. Good game to Amber, the coach of Memphis Meowths. She did a really great game, and I can't wait to see what she does for the rest of the season.